good morning, good people and fellow humans. Today is Sunday, November 24th, 2024, 11/24/24. It is almost 6 o'clock in the morning here in southwestern Nevada, east of Death Valley, west of Sin City. Good morning, Diana. Good morning, Memento Mori. Good morning to you both. What a great day. Boom, 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 boom. Okay. So, how are things in Portland? Diana, how are things in Portland? So, writing that down, you're answering that. And Memento Mori, how are things in southern Pahrump or Pahrump-Kentucky? You choose. Let's see. Here we are this morning on the 4th. It is G.school. So here's where we figure it out. So our purpose for being here every morning is to help our students and other people on their journey through this transcendent life where there's something after that. And we do it in a few different ways, but we cover 4 areas: physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual. Physical, if you're not physically fit, your body isn't going to be able to get you to where you need to be. You're not going to be able to do things. Your journey is going to be impacted by your body's ability or inability to do things. So you got to take care of your health, fitness and health, what you take in and exercise. 2, mental, always be learning. ABC, always be learning. A, always be. B, C, learning. Always be learning. Always be cobbling. Let's see. I've been so sick trying to get over a bad cold. It's rainy and cold. Aha, it must be Portland. Okay, so Monday through Friday, we focus on the other stuff, the physical, mental, and emotional. The emotional side is if you can't control your emotions, don't worry, someone else will, and they'll probably take you out of the game. So, got to be able to control your emotions. Most of the people I talk to who've been to prison, it's because they did something they knew they shouldn't do, or they didn't do something they knew they should do. Somebody else controlled their emotions. So we got to do those 3 things. But here on the weekend, our focus is the spiritual side. And that really is the most important because that is the everlasting part. It's the what happens next. Good morning, what a bevy. Hanging on by our fingertips. How are things in Fort Jacks? What a bevy. Got an A in my last 3 classes. I'm not even smoking cigarettes because they get me sick. Good. Boom. Right. So fitness and health, you'll feel better. I'm a little bit today because I had some cheap sake. I think Wadabevi knows that I like sake, but this was not the good sake. So I'm about 98%. So how about you, Memento Mori? How are you feeling today? So wonderful. Game was fun yesterday. I did very well. Good. Who won the game? While you're talking about that, let's go to our Themo-Memo of today. We're back, part 2, what if? What if? Examine our doubts, our things. What if? What if this is true? What if it's not really that hard? Okay, so we're going to talk more about that later. Advice from an 80-year-old. Think twice before burdening a friend with a secret. Yeah, this one comes back on the 24th of every month. Think twice before burdening a friend with a secret. Why is that? Because Now the friend has to carry the secret, right? Now the friend's got to carry that secret. So think twice before doing that. It's hard. It's hard to keep a secret. I am good baking a cake and pie for church this morning. Good. Good. If you have a chance to say hi to Jennifer Reynolds and talk about that woman that she's trying to help by getting us to help her, that would be super. Because maybe there's a there. Maybe there is a there. Boom, boom. Themo, Mimo. Okay, next. Seth Godin. This is going to tie into our what if. Seth Godin. Comfortable with the fuzziness. Okay, so I think this applies to all of us here and probably everywhere, which is why Seth Godin wrote it. Atmospheric conditions on Earth limit visibility on a perfect day to less than 200 miles. Okay, why is that? Because we have an atmosphere. It's not like on the moon. But 200 miles, that's incredible. Wow. So that means on a perfect day, a mountain that's 200 miles away, that's over the horizon, you could see that barely. Time works the same way. When we're doing the same thing in the same way, our perceptions of what will happen next can feel crystal clear. Right. So if you're doing Bible, the same thing, same way, reading the same stuff, it becomes very clear. Aha, I got it. Except there's something like 190,000 words in the Bible, and most people have read, well, let's say know but not memorized. So they're familiar with. Somebody says, oh yeah, remember in John, blah, blah, you know the story. So it's not memorized, but you know it. Most people know less than 10%. Most people who, let's say it this way, most people who go to church on Sundays know less than 10%. So it becomes very crystal, and the stuff they don't know becomes more fuzzy, right? So like you might know Ephesians. You might know Ephesians really well, but Revelation, really fuzzy. Plant some apple seeds in your backyard, and you're pretty sure you'll have an apple tree in a decade, not an oak or a maple. But it's hard to be sure exactly what it's going to look like. Yeah, you're not going to know what the tree's going to look like. If you drew a picture, you planted the seeds and you drew a picture, here's what the tree's going to look like. And you had to build the limbs and the branches and the crown. Probably isn't going to look anything like that if you just let it grow. The most useful work we create causes a change to happen. Aha. And the more profound the change, the less predictable it is. We don't know what it's going to look like. If you need perfect visibility into the future, you're limiting the impact and power of your work. Right, because you're just doing the same thing. So a lot of people get comfortable, right, with routine. And I think from a couple weeks ago when Wadabevi sent me something from a yogi, I think he was, that had this crazy beard that said, all habits are bad. Good habits, bad habits, all habits are bad. No, it's the routine. Routine is bad because it becomes mindless. If you're doing the same thing, you got to look at it differently. So, the example for me is thinking, I'm going to get some papers back that say, this is heretical. This is not correct. That's how they say things in theology school, is it's heretical. And it doesn't mean like burn them at the stake, burn them, get those weights, throw them off the bridge. It doesn't mean that. but it means, no, you're wrong. You're wrong. That is not correct. Go back. Examine your conscience. Everything is not relative. So we have rules here. Heretical, right. So I think I'm approaching that. I'm afraid of my last paper. When I get it back, it's going to say, well, actually, my paper, my one pager, nobody cares about this, but my one pager that I sent to the Dominican to read, he said, pantheism is heretical. Right. But then he went on to say, but you're not advocating pantheism, you're using it as a lever. It's a stepping stone to panentheism. So anyway, fuzziness. Comfortable with the fuzziness. Get comfortable with that. We don't know what it's going to look like. We're unsure. So think about those kinds of things and jump right in. Don't worry about it, because what? It's only life, right? It's only life. We've got to focus on the future, what's after life. So let's see, sort of a big day today. I got to figure some things out. Got a lot of homework to do. We have our Medicare person is coming up here. Let's see, memento mori. Do you have Medicare? My head is fuzzy right now. Well, that's probably a little bit different than what he's talking about. But maybe not. Who knows? Okay, let's see. I don't think you're too young. You're way too young for Medicare. Let's see. So that's what's happening there. What if? Let's try adopting that word into our routine. When we see something, this will break us out of the comfort, into the fuzziness. What if? What if I looked at it this way? That's a President Lincoln thing that he was famous for, how he would analyze problems. How does it look from here? How does it look from here? How does it look from here? How does the problem look? And that served him well and the rest of us well. So maybe on our what if, how does it look? How does it look over here? Over here, how does it look? What if this? And just because we have the what if, it doesn't mean we need to do it. Okay, so my thing today is I have to leave in a little bit more than an hour to go to Flirch, a Lutheran church. Very good sermon. And then kind of feeling compelled to go to Foursquare, and then Trinity after that. So again, here we are, spiritual, transcendental life. This is not all there is. So what if? Okay, that would be a thing. What if this is not all there is? What if it's not just that we're born, a whole bunch of stuff happens, and then we die? What if we do have a transcendent soul? As it now appears, people doing resuscitations, real experiences after death. What if this NYU, New York University, and UVA are right, that we do have transcendent souls? What if the Shroud of Turin is actually the burial cloth of Jesus? What if? What does that mean? And internalize that. What does that mean to me? What does it mean if I have a transcendent soul? Am I willing to change my life so that my pursuit is that? What if? What if there is no such thing as suffering when you look at it in the long term? What if? LOL, chicken brother. Broth. Looks like 45 minutes. I'm going to get some chicken brother. Brotho. Broth. LOL, chicken brother. Yeah. Okay. So that's it for today, people. The main thing is repetition, repetition, building better habits. That is the primary point of the primary thing is the worksheet down below. Share, subscribe, like. That's the primary thing, is the worksheet. But coming together, community, intercourse is the thing. However, the most practical benefit of the podcast in the morning is repetition, building better habits, repetition, 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 and getting in the habit of having a habit of improving the way we do things. So for memento mori, you're baking a cake, baking a pie. There should be a subroutine that every time I make a pie or a cake, it's going to be better than the last cake. I'm not just going to go through the motions, put it on autopilot, whip the stuff, put it in the oven, boom, it's gone, frost it, see how fast I can get. It's more a case of, how do I make the perfect pie? What did I do wrong? How can I put the whatever? You get the point. Okay, people, so we're going to say, and cut, arrivederci paisano, bonk.